Matt the Comic Guy. Today is Splendid History 2nd, Episode 1. Yes, another new way of explaining history. This one is actually would be another remake explaining history, this time on Spider-Man. Since Spider-Man Brand New Day is coming up. So, let's start from the very beginning. Specifically, his first appearance, Amazing Advancing number 15 in 1962. See, this story, in many of the Marvel characters, was done by Stan Lee, but also someone called Steve Ditko. When they created this issue, they knew, but this comic would be a success. See, with Spider-Man, when Stan Lee came up with the idea of Spider-Man, he saw a fly crawling up the wall, and he needed an idea, of a superhero with that type of ability or powers. So he came up with Spider-Man once he called the person he worked with at the time, and he says, "Stan, you can't do a hero like that." And he mentioned reasons why he couldn't even try to do it. For starters, his first reason, people don't like spiders, so he couldn't even try to call a hero Spider-Man. And then secondly, he wanted to make this hero a teenager, and he told him, "Stan, do you know what a teenager is? A teenager would not normally be a superhero." But Stan let it live anyways and created the issue that Spider-Man started in. And that's how the idea came about. A teenager with superpowers bitten by a radioactive spider and becoming a hero known as Spider-Man. Actual name, Peter Parker. Of course, that sold well enough that Spider-Man got his own series directly after, and his story continued on being a success. And so, after a while, he became so popular that he even got his first cartoon series. With the iconic theme song. Yes. And then after a few other animated series and a bunch of issues of comics, Spider-Man, of course, his popularity at sky high. So much so that there was a live action series and a TV movie to go along with it. But one thing was starting to be planned, a theatrical movie. This theatrical movie was so many years of being changed and redone again, and redone over and over again, to a point that it ended up being to own the rights of Sony, and the rest is history. The movie got into development, we got an early concept art, what that idea was. Originally, this theatrical movie of his was going to have Doc Ock and Green Goblin as the villain, until they realized it didn't work. And decided to have only the Green Goblin as the bad guy and saving Doc Ock for another movie. You're probably like, wow, nice foreshadowing, Mike the Comic Guy. Yes, it is. The original idea is a kind of foreshadowing, if you can think about it. But after having a trilogy of movies and having this continue on to success, and of course having the idea of, after twice of a cinematic universe, it was time for Spider-Man to join the MCU. With Sony and Disney making the deal with having him in the MCU himself. But surprisingly, it actually worked. He made his MCU debut in Captain America Civil War. And after a while, he had this Spider-Man had a trilogy of film series of its own, as well as a couple Avengers movies. And now we see the promise of a new Spider-Man film, Spider-Man Brand New Day. Interestingly, this will probably not be the end of this Spider-Man story, this Spider-Man history as we know it. Spider-Man has many stories in the comics, including now. I mean, since his creation, he has many stories, including the multiverse of Spider-Man, but that will be saved for another time. I'm Matt the Comic Guy. See you next time. Bye.